Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wonder Woman. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to a good friend of mine her name is Rosana Rodriguez from 305 HIVE. And she's going to share a little bit about what she's been doing at 305 HIVE and a beautiful foundation that she's been working at since she was 10 years old. Welcome, Rosie.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
We're just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Like when we do lunch.
Exactly, yeah.
So how's everything? How's 305 HIVE?
Amazing. We're actually, we're so busy. We're a full-blown media company now. So beyond just our digital newsletter and our Instagram, we're also doing live events.
Congratulations.
And marketing activations. It's been fantastic. And we're hosting a health and wellness event next Wednesday.
I'm very excited about that.
I know you'll be there.
I will be there for sure.
At Thesis Hotel in the Paseo. You can find
a beautiful
information.
Hotel.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And it's our home away from home. They're a big partner with us, and we're really happy to hold the event there.
So how is I know you do the newsletter, you write the blog.
Yeah.
So your blogs are always very funny, very, inclined to what we're doing as moms.
Yeah.
So how do you come up with all these beautiful ideas?
Oh, this brain doesn't stop, girl.
I know it doesn't run.
Gosh, I'm constantly, like, when I get an idea, I put it into the notes in my phone. And then when I sit at night, when I actually have a moment, and I'll start like seeing which one kind of jumps out at me the most and putting some ideas together. And then I'll message Samantha, our publisher, and I'm like, Sam, what do you think? Should give me a little guidance. And then sometimes the blogs are great for 305 HIVE, and sometimes they're better for Riveting Rosie for my own newsletter, depending on how real I want to be. But it's fun. It's just a way to just process, and it's really interesting to see how many people really share in my feelings and kind of identify with me, and I get to connect with readers that way.
You're very honest, and you bring a joke to maybe what a mom is thinking about, you know? And that's very important because we put a lot of stress on ourselves, right? As moms.
We do. But I learned from the best.
I know.
My mom was always a way to find happiness in the lowest situations, always a way to find a joke in the lowest situations, because that's life. So I did learn from the best in that, and I'm glad that I carry it on.
I would have loved to meet her.
Yeah, you would have loved her.
I would have loved it. I've only heard great things from her that you've told me. A little bit about you. So tell me, when I know you're native from Miami, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you graduate from, what schools did you graduate from?
I know, let's do the bird's eye view. Born and raised in Miami. My parents are Cuban immigrants, came in the early 60s. I grew up right by horse country, kind of on the fringe of Huachete. And I graduated high school from Braddock Senior High. I was at Florida State for a year, and then I ended up transferring to FIU. I initially did voice performance, and then I switched to theater. I wanted to do musical theater. And then I minored in hospitality, which was the best move I ever made, because the school at FIU, their hospitality program is stellar.
It is. It's very good.
And through that, I became certified as a sommelier, where I did an internship with the Biltmore, and I ended up morphing into catering directing. I love to do events, so I did that for a while at the Hotel Place Saint-Michel. Then I went into spa sales and then beverage sales, which was the bulk of my career. I worked for energy drink, and then for 8 years I was with Aramark in their office coffee distribution.
I know. Yeah. And I learned today that you, even for the community newspaper,
10 years ago you were a client of mine. Yes, and I still remembered people. Yeah.
That's crazy. So I know you wear a lot of hats.
I do.
And
I do.
How do you manage all those hats?
That's an ongoing work in progress. Yeah, no, it's just part of who I am.
I know.
It's that adult ADHD, man. It's a superpower, but
I think you do a lot of things from your heart. You're
I do.
Always helping people. So I admire you a lot about that.
Thank you. I do. I was raised learning to give. I was always raised to be of service. And that's why we're here today, because of that. And I'll tell you about that. So this really goes back to my mother, Giselle Morales. And when my brother was very young, he was diagnosed, and he's 4 years younger than me. He is a full-grown man turning 41 years old now, very healthy, but he was diagnosed with childhood leukemia when he was 3 years old. And that just like changed everything in our family. And talk about finding joy through that, within that process of him getting on chemo. And this was very old school chemo. There were no Metaports. There was monthly spinal taps. Like, it was very grueling.
Was it at Miami Children's?
It was at Miami Children's,
which is now as
Nicholas Children's.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor who treated him back then, Dr. Athena Pefgro, she's still there. And she's like a second mom to me. She's a wonderful woman. But we had the pleasure at that time meeting Eve Ruthfield from the United Order of True Sisters.
Right.
And an amazing organization. It was a group of women who just gave to their community.
That's beautiful.
And
I love the name.
Yeah. And let me tell you, they were the True Sisters. Yes.
United Order of True Sisters.
Oh, yeah. No monkeying around.
I get chills thinking about it.
The title says it all. You know,
it says it all.
They're coming in to take care of biz.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And Eve Ruthfield, she's since passed, but there's still a plaque of her up in the hospital. And my mother, she was still throughout all of this room parent, running our Girl Scout team, and I mean like
True Beverly Hills
style. Yeah, I'm doing it too. But she was like Phyllis Neffler, like running that team, our troop, and she got together with Dr. Pefgru and with her office administrator, and they decided. First, they did like a picnic day for the kids from the oncology department. And then they said, we need to do more. And they had heard that there was a diabetes camp through the patients at Miami Children's, and they said, we could do that too. So there's an amazing space for this type of camp at A.D. Barnes Park on Bird and 72nd, and that's where our camp is every year. And when I was 10 years old, my mother... they had their first year. She started this with Dr. P. Wow. And it was amazing. That first year, I didn't come in till like the last day or so when my mom said, I want to show my girls because I'm one of 4. Okay. So my sister Sabrina and I came in.
You're a big family.
We're big. We have another sister who was away at college at that time, but Sabrina and I were in elementary school, and they brought us in, and TJ, my little brother, had been a camper all week. And we got a taste, and that was it. So every year we would take turns being a part of the camp and helping volunteer. We were little junior counselors right from the get-go. And my favorite was to be in the kitchen. And the lady who ran our kitchen was a woman named Carol Montiel. She was phenomenal. She was a nurse, and just like I am, a lady her heart belongs in the kitchen.
Right.
So when I was a child, that's where I always wanted to be. Really? In the kitchen, at home with my mother in the kitchen at camp, and I would watch and I would learn. And as the years went on, like I became a full counselor in the camp, and these kids, they spend a week at no cost to their families, just having the greatest week of their lives. So the way the camp runs, the kids come in on a Saturday and they get picked up the following Saturday. No parents, no cell phones.
Them being themselves.
They get to be themselves because all their peers that are there are other kids with cancer. There's nothing weird.
Right.
They don't have to explain anything. They just get to be kids.
Amen.
And over the years, we've changed what a lot of the activities have been, but it's included things where they go bowling, they play laser tag, they go out on a boat ride, they have a huge pool party, they go to Universal for 2 days.
Wow.
And they don't wait in any lines. Universal is amazingly accommodating.
That's so nice.
Thank you, Universal.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you if you're there. The kids, they've swam with dolphins. They go go-karting. We have people come in and lead. We have Discovery Lab comes and does like big science experiments with them. We have, oh my gosh, they do color wars, which that's a huge.
That must be fun.
Oh, that's not fun for the parents with the laundry later, but the kids love it. The list goes on, and they just, they have the best week ever.
And in the camp, do the doctors go as well?
Yes, there's always at least one doctor on site, and half of our counselors are nurses. So I would say Let me give you some of that. Let me take a step back. So the kids, we have about 32 to 35 kids a year, ranging from ages 7 to 18. Okay. Many are still on chemo, some are not. Then we have, in addition to that, another 30 adults there every day. Who are counselors, junior counselors, doctors, nurses, and then my kitchen staff.
It's a big team.
It's a really big team.
And they're all volunteering, I bet. And
everyone's a volunteer.
Wow.
Everyone's a volunteer. And
a lot of good energy there.
Oh, it's amazing. It's, if you're going to be locked up with a bunch of people for a week, you need a good gang. And we have a really great gang. And it's amazing. Now our camp directors are family. So the camp was started by my mother, Dr. Pefguru, and Eve Ruthfield. So Eve's granddaughter, Fern, is now on our board of directors. Wow. Dr. Pefguru's daughter, Criso, and her husband, Lambros, are camp directors, along with my brother, TJ, and a slew of survivors I watched them when they were little kids in camp, and now they're like married with kids, and they're miracles, because the harsh reality is we lose kids every year. Since our camp ended, our last camp was this past July. We had one girl who had lung transplant, and she's thriving. Amen. We had another who had to have a leg amputated, and she is thriving. And then we did, unfortunately, lose two younger children this year. And it's the reality of the disease. So when we're there, it's all hands on deck. This is the best week that we can give them, because we don't know where life's going to take them after this. So as far as the kitchen goes, after high school, I moved up. After a few years into my career, I moved into work at Aramark. And Aramark is a huge organization.
A big company.
Right, with many different divisions. And I was in the office coffee division. But their biggest divisions, it's, under different umbrellas, but it's all food service. So I couldn't be as involved on the daily because I had to work, but I would go in every morning and make breakfast. And then I farmed out 3 of their meals every week to different divisions from Aramark, and they were phenomenal. And they would come in and do a Mexican night. They would come in and do burgers, and we had the group at FIU would do like a carnival every year. I mean, they were really special. And as time went on, I ended up, I had my own kids. I stopped working. I was a finalist on a semi-finalist on MasterChef. Oh, wow. I felt good about cooking, and then I came in and started to take over, to take over more. And then I saw in the years that I hadn't really been present, the kids were eating a lot of junk food. Right. And I said, we can't do that, because when I was there, we were cooking from the heart, and it's hard to get that going. It is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work.
So I was very fortunate. Not only did I have great girlfriends who came and helped me in the kitchen, or I had, their kids who were doing high school community service. One of our current, she's the new director through Nicholas Children's, Dr. Maggie Fader, phenomenal oncologist. Her husband, Adam, he's a nurse, so he's great to have on site, but Adam also has worked restaurant in his prior life, had a catering business, can run a grill like no one's business.
Isn't it incredible how what we bring from the past into our present?
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
All these skills carry on.
And
we use them, we find a place where they're needed.
Where they're really needed.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So Adam came in and joined me 3 years ago, and that was a home run, because then I had someone to really bounce ideas off. And then we were gifted from the heavens 2 summers ago. We met Erica Gonzalez, she's a teacher at St. Teresa's, and she's phenomenal, and she just loves to be in the kitchen. And that girl can throw down in the kitchen. So we've got our trifecta of cooks now, and it's an amazing team, and we have beautiful volunteers. We've taken over in that respect, and I now, Adam brings he and Maggie's daughter, Kieran, she's always in the kitchen, and their 2 younger kids.
It's a family affair.
It's a family affair. We're training them up for the future. My daughter, Amelia, who's only 8, she comes in, puts on a little apron, and
helps out,
washes fruit, and does all the cute things. And it's beautiful to see.
How do the kids qualify to like does the doctor or who picks the kids? Do you like sign up for it, or how does
So
that
they can
work?
all apply. They can all apply, and then the doctors and nurses make a judgment call. A lot of times it's based on their health, if they can handle the week. If they've been a number of times, we want to give somebody else a chance.
Right?
Yeah, we tried after a couple times, maybe wait till they're old enough to come back as a junior counselor or something, put them to work.
Back,
yeah. Sometimes some of these kids fly in from out of the city. We have a lot of children we have children who come in from the Caribbean, from other parts of the state to do their treatment at Nicholas. We're so blessed in this city.
We are.
To have the kind of medical care that we have.
We do. We're very blessed.
Around every corner, pretty much everyone's covered.
Yep.
And the team at Nicholas is phenomenal. So, we have to take that into account as well. And also behavior. Some of the kids maybe just aren't ready. When you're homesick for a while, that changes, how you get to develop socially, and it can be harder for them to be away from their parents.
It is hard.
Things like that.
And it gives the parents a little break too, which it helps them a lot.
Well,
I imagine
it's great for the parents because for some of them, it's a really safe. It's a very safe way for them to let go a little.
Of course.
When they've had to hold on so tight. Yeah, and that you can send your kids for this amazing week, and they are in the best hands. They're just so cared for, and we are around the corner from the hospital,
right
just
there.
A couple miles away.
It's nothing.
So we've had kids who during the week maybe they have infusions they need to do. They'll go do it
and come back,
and they come back, or all their meds are distributed daily by the nurses. They don't have to, like, you're not leaving it on me who forgets to take my vitamins.
Right.
We've got the medical personnel for this.
Thank God.
Yeah. And it's
again, we go back how fortunate we are to have Miami, Nicholas Children's Hospital right there.
Yes, we are.
A lot of cities don't have, a lot of places do not have a children's hospital. It's very limited. So we have to thank God for it, and everybody that works there, appreciate them for everything they do.
They do. No, they're phenomenal. Anybody who wants to go into pediatric medicine, that is a special calling.
It is.
That is a special calling because it is these are the smallest and the most vulnerable. Yeah. And to be able to have the dedication and the durability to see what they see, day in, day out, and keep moving forward with a smile, that's a beautiful thing.
So who are your biggest sponsors? How do you get sponsors and to help you with this camp?
Well, we do have an endowment that was put in place by the U.O.T.S, by the United Order of True Sisters, our namesake. People always call it U.O.T.S. Is that Camp U.O.T.S? You call it whatever you want. Just come, give us a little love. So we have private donors as well, and then we do fundraise throughout the year. We do fundraise during Give Miami Day, things like that. We did have a large fundraiser when my mother passed, and we funded a large chunk of camp that summer from her passing.
Rosie.
Yeah. That was her legacy, and now it's ours. Our families. But we are always looking for donors. We would love to do a second week of camp. We used to do, we did it a couple times, but before the pandemic, where we had just a long weekend for teenagers, because ages 7 to 18, we have to really pick activities that encompass everybody. But in a teenager weekend, that was a whole other game. Wow. So we'd love to bring something like that back. But,
And if someone wants to find out where to donate, they go to the website?
The website is campuots.org. And you just click on the right in the menu button and you'll see the donate button. It's very easy to do, campuots.org. Click for donations. You can also follow us on social media. And a beautiful offshoot that we've had from Camp U.O.T.S, it's like I said, we have all these survivors. So 2 of our survivors, Grisel and Lana, whose last names I'm going to mess up, so I will leave that out. And but again, I was their counselor when they were children. I made them peanut butter and jelly sandwiches when they were little, and they're both in the medical field now. It's amazing. They started an event called Thrive Fest, and our next Thrive Fest is October 4th. 2025, and it is a day to gather for the survivors of childhood cancer.
Wow.
So we partner with a number of nonprofits that day. Camp U.O.T.S, Live Like Bella, Project Patch. I mean, there's a whole group of, and there's more and more who are joining. Last year was our first year, and it was such a success. And we host it down south at the White Orchid event space, which is owned by one of our survivors. So, I mean, it is truly, this is a labor of love. These are phenomenal people who because of what they endured as kids, their level of resilience and their heart to give, it's infinite. And so, this just keeps growing, these movements. And so that's Thrive Fest. That's another one of our babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like I said, Rosie wears a lot of hats.
I know. And then, and beyond that, I'm involved. I'm in the fundraising committee for Friends of South Florida Music, and with Dr. Joy Galliford. I think she was here 2 weeks ago for an interview.
Do you sing to the kids? Because I know you have a beautiful voice.
I don't. I often walk out with a crazy lady microphone into the cafeteria and make announcements about the grilled cheese buffet. Or, the tacos will be ready in 30 minutes. Stop asking me for snacks. Everybody stay out of my kitchen. There's a lot of tough love that week.
I bet.
I don't sing for the kids, but I like to sing. I like to throw down a little bit.
If someone wants to volunteer, I imagine do you get a lot of Miami kids volunteering that week? Mm-hmm. And if you do, how can the ones that don't know and they want to try to volunteer, what do they have to do?
I tell you, the bulk of our volunteers come from either friends and family, of the counselors or the kids, or what we could always use more of are groups, organizations who want to come in and like kind of take over an event. For example, from Nicholas Hospital, the Nicholas Foundation, the fundraising team, that's a great gang of folks, and they come every year and run the grilled cheese buffet.
Oh, nice!
Which is one of our most popular meals of the entire week. I love a grilled cheese. It's one of my favorite things to make. And food is love. And
it is.
So they come in, and we will have throughout the day 10 or 12 adults, and they'll be there for a 4 to 6 hour window, split up, and they come in. They'll help me food prep for the next day or for the evening. They do the sandwiches, and then they come work the buffet, and we stand back and let them, because that's part of the joy.
I would love for SFR.
Oh, done. I'll get you a job. I'll get you guys to come in and help me do an event. It would be amazing. Sure. But that's the kind of sponsorships I would love to have, is
like a team.
A team, yeah. If you can come in as a team, we do take individuals. Like if you want to come in and help, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to us in U.O.T.S, in our Camp U.O.T.S's Instagram. Or you could reach out to me personally in my Instagram at rivetingrosie305. Okay. Shoot me a DM. But we could use, those are great that's a great way to really get in touch with the event. And then sometimes we'll have organizations who will financially sponsor an event. And to give you a feel of how we feed these kids, because it's very...
I know, you told me that it takes time, because a lot of kids have allergies, and some just want certain things, and you accommodate to each and every one of them.
Because... to quote Carol Montiel, who taught me the way when I was a child, when you're in the kitchen, not to worry. Not to worry. You won't eat that? Not to worry. I'll make you something else. Because this is their week.
Of course.
And I'm not here to teach kids to love a new food, although they end up learning some great things. That peer pressure gets them to taste something a little better.
Yeah,
and
I know you do.
Mommy adds salt to the food when you come to my house, so it tastes nice. But... we have kids who come in with allergies, who come in with intolerance to dairy or gluten. Mm-hmm. We have kids who are vegan. We have kids who are pescatarian or vegetarian, and I accommodate. And then people don't realize when you're on chemo food can taste really bad to you. It messes with your senses and your taste buds.
Most
so
definitely.
there will be certain things that they will accept that tastes good to me. I will make that for you all week. And when we have camp orientation, I always meet with the parents. I introduce what I'm going to do for the week, and I say, if you have a picky eater, come see me over there. And there's a line.
Wow.
There's a line. And I had one kid who's like, he only eats arepas. No problem. He didn't eat a single arepa. He ate everything. But at the end of the week, his parents came in and made arepas. And I said, okay, now I want to be your mom's kid and eat those arepas because they were phenomenal. Phenomenal. But, I had a little boy last year who came to me and said he only eats, he's so cute. He's from Jamaica. He says he only eats Mojo chicken from Publix.
Oh, Mojo.
The Mojo. Yeah, he's so cute. And yellow rice with saffron.
Oh, my God.
And it was a gamble. I had to go to Publix, and the only yellow rice, there was only one yellow rice with saffron, and thankfully he says, that's the one.
You found it.
Oh, thank God. And then I had a boy one year who only eats grilled cheese with Gouda.
Ooh.
I know how to make grilled cheese on the barbecue grill now. We can make it anywhere. Anywhere. Yeah, it's
that's my daughter's favorite.
Oh, I mean, it's everybody's favorite girl. Yeah. But we start the day before camp, we go to BJ's and buy like $5,000 in groceries,
Wow.
something crazy. And we do.
Do you need a sponsor like for, to donate the food?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would absolutely. If somebody would love to sponsor us, we'd also love a sponsor to have a new stove in the camp. We've been going there for 35 years this summer. And you can do the math on my age. It's fine. I don't care. It started when I was 10. I think it's the same stove. I think it's the same stoves. So
you do miracle works.
We do miracle work. We could use, $5,000 would cover 2 new stoves. $5,000 would also cover the groceries for the week. We bring in Kona Ice for the kids, and they're amazing. We've had Mojo Donuts, Night Owl cookies. I personally make 3 to 4 batches of chocolate chip cookies for the kids and crispy treats. We do a French toast breakfast. No por nada. I make the best French toast you ever had. For real. We do just anything and everything they want. They have ice cream parties. It's their week.
It's a week of love.
It's their week, and it's an honor to be a part of it. I won silver night in high school from my hours that I had at camp, and my work in this when I was at Aramark. I know we're low on time. When I was at Aramark, we had star teams. They have star teams around the U.S. I'm talking about you a lot, Aramark, and it's been a minute. You're welcome.
You got to listen, Aramark.
They need help. Aramark. I ran our local star team, which is like the community service team for our district. And we worked with Miami Rescue Mission, Camilla's House, with Branches, with City Air, who's phenomenal. And because of that participation, when Aramark went public in 2013, I got to go with them to the New York Stock Exchange and ring the bell.
Oh my God,
and
what
you
an
can
experience.
look that up, Aramark NYSE. I'm up there in a red blazer.
So, all the future women entrepreneurs, women that want to give back to their community, what advice would you give them today, how they could do it?
If you want to get back and you're not giving back, then you're not being true to yourself. And if you're not giving back and you haven't thought about it, then you're living a half life, because we're not here to just live for ourselves. Those aren't the legacies that we leave. The legacy we leave is the love that we give to people while we're here on this earth. How loved and appreciated we make them feel while we're here.
And something you said to me is, this all started because of your mother.
Yeah.
So I think we have to always look back who's given to us,
right?
And remember that we need to give back. We need to do that.
Yeah,
give back to everybody else.
It's something that
give it forward.
As a child, you don't notice until things that you don't appreciate until you're an adult, and then in retrospect, it's the example that was set before me. I'm leading it. I'm following it without even realizing it, because it's been so ingrained in me. Mm-hmm. It was just the way you live. Right. You give, you help people, you get involved. Sometimes I can overextend myself, but I always tell people when they say, you do such a great job at this or that, I say, you should have seen my mother. She was the one, the real deal. Yeah.
Well, Thank you, Rosie, for being here today with me. I really appreciate it.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. I can keep going.
And thank you for giving back.
It's my pleasure.
And, I didn't know your mom, but thank you for your mom because she started the camp.
She did.
With the doctor.
Yeah.
And we're grateful for that.
Yeah, we are.
And we need to acknowledge everybody that gives because it's important. And continue their legacy.
Yes.
So thank you for doing that because not everybody does that, and you did. So thank you for continuing that legacy. Thank you for being with me here today. I really appreciate it. I hope to see you in 2 weeks. And like I always say, never give up on hope. Never. Always believe. And remember today, we've learned that giving is living. So
absolutely. Amen.
Give every day. It really fills your heart with love and kindness. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bye.